What they now teach is learned hope, that you can get into the practice of learning hope. And let me give you a great study that illustrates this that blew my mind. There was a study back in the 1950s conducted by a guy by the name of Kurt Richter. He was a biologist. And he started out with a very simple question. How long can a wild rat swim? Pretty simple question. So he took a rat, put it into a cylinder of water, and watched it swim there was no hope of escape. And the rat swam there as Richter had his little stopwatch. At about 15 minutes, the rat seemed to lose hope and died. Just sunk under the water at about 15 minutes. It didn't seem exhausted, it just gave up. 15 minutes. Then he had another question. He wanted to see if he could increase how long this rat would swim for. So he did a little intervention. He brought in a new group of rats, put them in the same cylinder of water, started timing how long they were swimming, and at about 15 minutes, the stopping point, the limit that the other rats had demonstrated was the stopping point. That's when he reached in, pulled out the rat, dried it off, let it catch its breath, and then plunk, put it back inside the cylinder. Now, he did this a few times to condition the rat to believe that hope is possible, that salvation might happen, that this magical hand might reach in and save it if it kept swimming. How much longer was Richter able to condition these rats to swim for? Now, was it twice as long, 3 times as long, 4 times as long? Imagine if there was an intervention that I could help you become 4 times more persistent, to go from 15 minutes to, let's say, an hour of swimming, 4 times more persistent. That would be amazing. If you could, run 4 times longer, sustain your endurance on a difficult task, make sales calls 4 times longer, work on a project 4 times longer. That'd be amazing before you got tired and quit. But the rats didn't swim 4 times longer. They swam not for 60 minutes. They swam for 60 hours. 60 hours of nonstop swimming. From 15 minutes, they became 240 times more persistent. Why? What changed? Their bodies hadn't changed. This was a couple interventions, right? That nothing physically had changed in their bodies. The environment hadn't changed. Same cylinder, same experiment. We can't ask the rats what happened, but we think the only variable left is that something happened in their minds, that some switch was flipped, and all of a sudden the 60 hours that was always in them could manifest itself, could prove that they could swim that much longer. It was always there. And so that's what these limiting beliefs are. They try and keep us safe, and so we give up far too soon than is good for us.